Woo, I'm excited. I'm about to buy a new pair of hiking shoes. Like they're not like the footwear I'm about to get is kind of like this car. Like this car is a compact SUV. I'm gonna get these boots that are practically sneakers that are like mid height, so they're like ankle, like they come up to the ankle, but they're kind of but they're like a breathable type. It's not for like absolute winter, but it's gonna be fucking awesome for a lot of my general trotting around. Because I want to stop wearing my running sneakers for work in particular. And I definitely don't want to be wearing them, when it's like, when the ground is dirty a whole lot, right? They're sneakers. They're designed for land that has been pedicured. You're running on concrete and asphalt or whatever. There's a floor of a house underneath you, or a floor of a building underneath you. Like, that's sneakers, right? And I think the main reason why we call them sneakers is because they are designed to be light and to be quiet. When you think of footwear, light footwear, before the quote sneaker was invented, you've got different kinds of shoes. Some of them were hard soles for protection, and thus they would hit the floor hard, and you'd always be hearing the cluck 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 steps of people walking around, especially if it was an acoustic. Had some acoustics in the building, like some of the old estates of the world, right? Also part of the reason why you would take your shoes off in the West. But anyway, so, hey, what's up, Stein? So, yes. No, it's not a car box. It's like, that's why it's just called Bock Saga stuff. It's, this is just another drive stream, but the forefront of my mind for this channel is the fact that I just did the Bock Saga thing. So, like Heidegger was on my brain 24-7 while I was reading Heidegger, I'm putting monkey goats in my brain for 24 hours. Anyway, no, because this is my drive stream. I'm in the mood to talk. What am I going to talk about? I'm going to wing it, but theoretically I'm going to talk about the Bock Saga because that's what's at the forefront of my mind. So thank you for saying it and making me clarify. So last night I did a good 3 hours or so covering Jim Chesner, some of his earliest releases on the Sukin Sun channel for the Bock Saga series. And I went over his 30-minute presentation of the wheel of the alphabet, with the full range of letters within the wheel, and the 8, I think it was 8 he said, that were outside of it. There's the 8 rings of power that are on the list. But anyway, Clara Wilkerson. Thank you. And Bruche chain. Are you talking about the necklace of my Mjolnir? Is that called a Bruche chain? And you're a big like jewelry person. So is this about this? But anyway, I think I need to make it a little shorter. I think the Mjolnir hangs too low. But anyway, I might want it to be a little bit thicker but lighter too. I may want to just get a different chain altogether, effectively. But anyway, I went with the alphabet because I wanted to be out the bat for both my own mind, as well as for the general reference of the audience, going through the real meat of the video, which was the 8 Rings of Power Part 1. There's 3 parts, so we're going to do 2 more on this. And then I will decide if I want to keep going. I'm going to try and... I'll probably want to grab at least one thing that at least has Eeyore Bock in it. So I might do the documentary, you know, who in the hell is Eeyore Bock? I might do that one to show you just him, his life, because everything rides on the credibility of that man's soul. Everything. You know, and, you know, without it, we're back to different kinds of speculations that don't have corroborating evidences. And it would be very hard for us to have a different actual, like, mental axis mundi for tracing the past. Like, this literally gives us an axis mundi that our entire past literally freaking grew right out of from under. So, you go through the alphabet, and the alphabet gives you like this almost quantified story of creation, which is what makes absolute perfect sense in context. Almost every single one of those sounds is in Old Norse. Pretty much every single one of those sounds is in Old Norse, and thus also pronunciations of the runes, depending on dialects, so on and so forth. This is some pretty impressive shit in that respect. So, if somebody made it up, they made it up with the extra greatest of care of saying, I figured it out. But you'll never believe that I simply figured it out, therefore you can't handle the truth that I figured it out, so therefore I have to invent an entire story that's the unfortunate lie that may make it fall apart, but it's more important that you know the truth. And as long as you can't figure it out, right? That's the worst case scenario, that Eeyore Bock was just a guy who figured it out. Because it's fucking bloody genius if it wasn't just simply the truth that was told to him and that he can't take credit for. Because all this credit basically goes back to Ra and Maya as far as telling the story is concerned. Ah, somebody was deleted. What was the deal with that, Stein? I missed it. Were they just trolling? Was it spam? I just want to know the nature of what it was. Crip Blue? Interesting name to cause trouble. Z doesn't need meth. He's weird enough without... Oh, is somebody trolling me on meth? Ah! Hysterical. Anyway. See? Huh? No meth. Beautiful, off-white teeth. And that's not smoking stains either. It's just ever since I was a child, I went a period of time with no sugar, and, you know, with all the whitening stuff, and like, it's like this is my teeth. It's just like, I don't think I have naturally white teeth. I don't know what it is. I've done all manner of cleanings. Outside of getting absolutely fluoridated at the dentist. And, you know, so, I don't know, my tooth health is fucking fantastic, and I don't go to the dentist. Thanks for asking. And I never got cavities, despite sugar, which is suspicious to me. Are they lying about cavities and sugar? I mean, like, cane sugar is not that great for you. It's fun once in a while. You need it for cookies and things. But, you know, they tell you don't have it because cavities. Why did I not get cavities? And I'm pretty sure other people told me that they did. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just one of the lies that we take for granted. Everybody go look up cavity conspiracy and let me know if I'm just special and that my off-white teeth mean I am immune to cavities. But anyway, so then going into the 8 Rings of Power, I thought was an appropriate place to start, because it's the power structure of the world, and I think understanding the history and the framework of how certain things happened in Hell, up in Udma, and then certain and other things were happening down the line, and going through the characteristics of the way the world is at that time, I think makes more sense if you have that mental map of, at the very least, the Great White North, right? So with that map in mind, you get to see how things function, because you've got the 4 quadrants of the Earth that each had a major family group. And then those got subdivided into, I think, 3 for each of those. Thus the 12 families. And these would have been the actual proper, like, in the Guyanaman conspiracy. Right, this is those of the Marxist Zionist ideology. They have their 13 family bloodlines of the Illuminati to rule the world. The Bock Saga is telling us how things just are with who the real bloodline is, and I don't think that the Bock Saga is even necessarily saying that we need to fucking treat the Hyperborean bloodline that survived as anything special, other than we want to talk to you again so we can learn about who we are, and that's the most amazing thing about you, plus anything else, because we're gonna unlock all sorts of fucking things and change society for the better, right? But they're not fucking benevolent people, they're just people, because some of them, he'll explain it sometime down the line of one of these stories about how some of these families, when they were breaking out of Alt-La-Is, some of them were douchebags, some of them had better intentions, and some of them had worse intentions. Hysterical that Krishna is one of the guys who nobody liked. Right? Nobody liked, and it was because he was fucking doing weird, that like he wasn't going, his idea was not to freaking restore the Ramaya, it's basically the Ramaya system, you could say, the way the way of the original people of Udma, right? And it's the, and I think that's part of like I believe that's I think that's a lesson, kind of like a lesson, like imagine if God had archons of free will, right? Because that's what Ra and Maya would be. They say they're infallible immortals that are still alive somewhere, hiding maybe in Lemminkainen Temple or some nonsense like that, right? Perhaps they are vampires now. You have to ask yourself, what do they, like why are they so attached, still to the absolute, like, different way? Have you not taken time and seen how, like, some of us, like, it's sucky because many of us are fucking up because we're doing something different than the others that's obvious, and we think, well, it's my choice and I'll figure out how this wrong way can be done right? Because that's what probably a guy like Ra and a gal like Maya is looking at. They're looking at the human race saying, like, no, there's only one way you do that right, and that's why you're unhappy, right? And thus the need to be there as the king that you didn't ask for. Why? I am the Oz king. Why didn't you? I am Oz king. You supposed to ask me, right? I get a certain way when I'm around people that I care about. I've demonstrated that I know a thing or two. People then acknowledge, oh my gosh, you know a thing or two, and then they never console me when they have a problem involved with what I know, right? I got friends that know people that I don't consider friends, but they would say that we're friends, but that's only because I believe they want to hold that up as I think they're just nice. I think they're naive, right? On too many levels, and they are a vegan couple, and let's just say they have a vegan's nutritional health standard, and they just lost one that she was carrying, that they didn't tell anybody that she was having one. And that was such a heart level of personal betrayal of trust over people that I thought just like, busy people, we're all cool with each. Just like, it's just like, are you listening to anybody's? You're only listening to certain sources about the nutritional whatevers. How far did you go? How much did you ignore something that they were telling you, right? And of course, vegans are going to have a natural mistrust of anybody who won't show them a vegan dietary answer, to their needs. And this is kind of you're looking at the onset epigenetically of what's going to be yet another reason why the Earth is going to reduce in population, by people that feel wholly that they need to reduce their population anyway, on some level, right? As just part of the way that God works. It's okay. It's no one else's sacrifice but mine, right? And that's what it turns into, because the vegan realized they were never going to convert anybody, just like the Christian does, right? They don't want to admit that they're in a religion, which is part of the agenda of world worship, which is part of the Guyanaman democracy conspiracy's agenda for destroying the cattle. They want to keep you fat and happy as a productive sacrifice, or they want you to kill yourself off if you aren't gonna play the game with everyone else that is gonna build the future that they want. And they're making they're making their eugenics plans work in accordance to how they've conditioned the various language groups that are talking to each other at the time, right? The entire English-speaking internet is having a conversation. The The entire Hindi-speaking internet is having a conversation. The entire Arabic-speaking internet is having a conversation. You know how to write and say the words that other people understand, publish it, and broadcast it or transmit it. And then the rest is working out the access codes to reach anybody like you. You notice that they don't bother firewalling very much certain language groups from each other. There'd be like 0 point. How do you truly firewall British websites from American websites, right? You know all the search terms. You know what you're looking for already, and you know how to find it regardless of search engine, etc., etc. And you know how to get the software you need to fucking bypass their fucking codes, and then the rest is easy because you already understand everything on the other side. You just needed the coding language for the firewall, right? Or the ice wall in the case of the Bock Saga. So this is my reasoning for wanting to dive into the Bock Saga, is both to juxtapose it to the conspiracy as well as to figure out the relationship to our ancestors in the manner that truly tells us who we are in a way that we can that is applicable, right? It's the application of the knowledge is where the magic transforms you, right? When you take it in anew, because you've taken in a new clearer, truer, refined perception of the you that was always there. And that's the fucking reason why people should listen to me on this channel. If you're looking for somebody who fucking shows you the fucking world like that, you listen to someone like me, who is not interested in finding out how to make this look like we are small. Because the whole world wants to bless you. And to be less is to be small. And Ra and Maya are no greater than you or me. Although they might be jacked as shit if we understand the eugenics program in question here. So you better get jacked as shit because you want to be fucking looking good for the Allfather. Hey! Well, Ra's not the Allfather. Freyr's the Allfather, but you get my fucking point. Alright. So I hath arrived at work. I shall catch you guys later. Maybe I'll do a lunch stream. I'll see how I'm feeling about that. Just excited to get the day going. All right. I will catch you guys later.